So if you're wanting to get into the gym, start working out, or you've already been going for a little bit, there's some really key points that you need to know about before you start going like really hard at it and understanding what you're doing to be able to develop the most muscle, get the most progress in the quickest amount of time. And if you've been going for a while, you might know these. If not, I recommend clicking through, seeing what the points are because you might know some of them. I'll actually go ahead and give you a list real quick just so you know if you want to watch the video or not. But they are mind muscle connection, the concept of bulking and cutting, then we got progressive overload, shocking the muscle, and working toward failure. Those 5 things are like the key fitness fundamentals you need to know in order to make the most progress in the gym and get a lot of muscle growth. So I'll start off with mind muscle connection. When you're working out, no matter what the muscle group is, you could be doing triceps, biceps, chest, back, whatever the muscle you're working out, you need to be trying to feel that muscle. So let's say you're doing lat pull down, and so a quick little side note, everybody's gonna have a different muscle that's harder for them to flex, but the back was the hardest for me to get down. But whenever you're doing lat pull down, if you don't know, it's the machine where you grab the bar and you pull it down like this while you're sitting. So it's gonna be like that movement. And this was the hardest for me to start being able to feel the muscle. But whatever the workout you're doing, no matter what the muscle group, so this is a back workout. Whenever I'm pulling down, I want to use my arms as little as possible. I try to pull with the back muscle. So since I'm doing a back workout, I think about using my back to pull. So you're coming down, pulling with your back, pulling with your back, pulling with your back, back up with your back. You're going to have to use your arms a little bit, obviously, right? Because that's what's pulling down. But you want to try to imagine using your back as much as you can. That's going to be a lat workout. So right here, you try to pull with your lat. If you're doing a tricep workout, maybe you're doing rope pull down. So you're going to come here, and you're going to try to pull it down with your tricep. So you're going to come down, tricep, tricep, tricep. You're thinking about that muscle the whole time, and you're trying to use that muscle to pull the weight. That's how you're going to grow the muscle the most. That's how you're going to get the most out of the workout that you're doing. You could be doing bench press. You try to push the weight with your chest. So that's the whole concept of mind muscle connection. The quicker you get the feeling down for that muscle, the quicker you're going to make your results there. My first year or two going to the gym, and a lot of people now, you'll go to the gym and see this, but people will just sling the weight. It's like maybe they're doing chest or bench press, they just sling it. They're doing lat pull and they kind of just pull it with their whole body. That's kind of along the lines of ego lifting. You want to use the muscle you're trying to work out. You don't want to just sling as much weight as you can. If you need to sacrifice some weight in order to have proper form, you need to do that. That way you feel the muscle more. But that's the whole concept of mind muscle connection. You want to really try to use the muscle you're working out. Think about it. So it's the mind to the muscle. Mind muscle connection. Makes sense, right? And then next up, you got shocking the muscle. Shocking the muscle, the whole concept comes down to just not doing the same thing every time you go to the gym. You have a workout plan, you do that workout plan for however long. I try not to do it more than 3 months. It's kind of up to you. You don't want to do it too long, you don't want to do it too short. You want to go enough where you get the results from that workout. But after you've been doing those workouts for a while, your muscles kind of get used to it. So you switch it up a little bit. You do new workouts, introduce new workouts to your workout plan, change the order of it, do more reps, more sets, whatever it is, less reps, higher weight. You kind of just tweak all that a little bit, and it shocks the muscle, gives it new stimulus to grow. So keep that in mind when you're doing your workout plan. Don't do the same thing for years and years and years because you'll still get results, but it'll slow down a little bit. But if you switch it up, it's new stimulus for the muscle. It'll start getting new feelings. It'll be worked out differently, and then you'll have new growth. So that's all of shocking the muscle, basically. You got progressive overload next. Progressive overload is one of the biggest things in the gym. You probably heard it before. I'm certain you've heard it. If not, it's pretty simple. Once you get it down, it's hard to forget because it's that important. But I'll use bench press, for example. I'll use bench press. Let's say I'm bench pressing 185 pounds, 3 sets for 10 reps, right? So once I get to the point where I can do all 3 sets for 10 reps, that means I'm going that weight. I need to up the weight a little bit. So maybe I'll add a 5 on each side. So that'll be 195 pounds. Now I can maybe get 3 sets of 8. But what the catch here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay at 195 pounds until I can get all 3 sets of 10. Maybe for 2 weeks, I can get 2 sets of 10, but I can't get that last set. That means I stay at 195. But once I'm able and capable of getting 195 pounds for all 3 sets, I go up again. So I add another 5 pounds on each side. So now I'll be at 205 pounds. You get it that you just repeat that process. You up the weight whenever you can get all 3 sets of 10, and then you go back down to a little bit less reps, but you higher the weight. And then once you can get that weight to 3 reps or 3 sets of 10 reps, you're good to go up again. It doesn't necessarily have to be 3 sets or 10 reps. It's just whatever goal you set for that workout. Once you get to that goal, you up the weight and you just keep repeating. And that's the whole concept of progressive overload. Because over time, you progressively up the weight, progressive overload, right? So that's the whole concept of that. That's a key thing in the gym. You need to be doing that. If you're not, you're hurting yourself. You're not going to be making as much gains as you could be, and it's super important. So keep that in mind. I like unintentionally did this whenever I was first starting, but I didn't do as much as I could have been doing it. Like I'd stayed in the same dumbbells for curls for a long time, but for bench I was doing this, but I wasn't doing as good as I could have been doing. And you might be doing the same, but try to keep this in mind the whole time. Whatever workout you're doing, keep track of the weight you're on and try to go up whenever you can go up. It's the main thing. Next, you got working until failure. And this is a big thing. Most people don't do this because it's so uncomfortable. But whenever you're doing your workouts, you want that last 2 reps to be like, I cannot get anymore. Like I'm about to fucking die if I keep going. You want it to be the muscle is literally giving out. Like if I'm doing some curls, I'm like rep 9 right here. I get to 11 and then 12. I'm like can barely get up. I'm fighting for it. Boom, and I try again. I can't get up. That's working until failure. You want to go until the muscle literally cannot get another rep. And the key thing here is I just mentioned progressive overload. Think about that. Set 3 sets of 10 reps. You want that last rep to be failure. You want to set it up to where the weight you choose ends at that last rep. So you know you can't get anymore. So that's the key thing here. Obviously work until failure, but you want the failure to be in the range of your end goal. So if you're aiming for 10 reps, you want it to either be at 10 reps or less. That's how you know how to gauge what amount of weight to use. So it's hard to get used to it first, especially because it burns so bad. That's the worst part. People don't like to burn. Once their muscles start burning a tiny bit, they tend to put the weight down. But you want to keep going whenever it starts burning and push through the burn. That's where the real muscle growth's at. So once you get through the burn and you're fighting for your life trying to get those last couple reps and you can barely get that last one, that's how you know you're working out hard. And that's how you're going to get the most muscle growth. Whenever you're working toward failure and that muscle is giving out. That's how you know. And then the last concept I want to talk about is cutting and bulking. Just the concept of that in general. Cutting is when you try to lose weight, mostly body fat, ideally all body fat, and keep as much muscle as possible. And bulking is the opposite of that. It's where you put on as much weight as possible, but you want it to be as much muscle as possible. Cut out like as little fat as possible and as much fat as possible. So you have to find the ideal spot for you. You're gonna have your maintenance, and that's where you sit at typically. And the way to bulk, you eat in a surplus. So whatever you've been eating on the day to day, maybe we'll say you're eating 2,000 calories. So you would add like 300 calories if you want to bulk. 300, and you'll start slowly gaining weight. And once you get to a spot where you stop gaining weight, and I said you add 300 calories, now you're eating 2,300 calories a day. But now your body's used to that, so you stop here. Now this is your new maintenance. But now you want to get even more weight, so you add another 300 calories. Now you're eating 2,600 calories. You gain weight. Now your maintenance is 26. You get where I'm going. Now, same thing with cutting. Now once you're eating 2,600 calories a day, ideally you were eating healthy, eating a lot of proteins. You were gaining a lot more muscle than fat. So now you get your new body weight. So you're going to cut down. Now you're going to be eating in a calorie deficit. So if you're eating 2,600 calories at your maintenance now you're going to take off 300, and you'll start slowly going down. Now your body weight's here, 2,300 calories, and you stay here. This is your new maintenance. You get the concept. Same thing if you're eating 2,000 calories a day and you want to lose some weight, minus 300. Stay here for a while. Maybe you want to lose more, take off another 300. That's the whole point. But the whole concept is whenever you're bulking, you're trying to get stronger and gain as much muscle as possible. That way whenever you cut back down, you'll have more muscle, but you'll be back at your original body weight. That's the whole point. Just whenever you're bulking, get as much muscle as possible, and when you're cutting, maintain as much muscle and lose as much fat as possible. That's the whole thing. People overcomplicate it sometimes, but that's literally it. The main thing I recommend, and you don't have to do this, is to eat healthy throughout whatever. Eat a lot of protein, eat clean foods that are not heavily processed, and eat whole foods. That's how I like to do it. It keeps your body healthy. But at that point, it's not just about bodybuilding, it's just about longevity and being healthy throughout your life. And that's what I really preach, it's what I focus on. So I eat really clean throughout my bulk or my cut. And it's hard to get a lot of calories when you're eating clean, so I get it. But you don't have to necessarily do that, but that's how I do it. But keep that in mind and kind of just go from there. That's all my 5 little fundamentals that I personally preach and I think are the most important thing in the gym. Once you get a real firm understanding of those, you're pretty much set in the gym. You could perfect all of that in a year, whenever it took me like 5 years to do. Realistically, it took me like 3 years. My first 2 years, I just kind of fucked off and did not make as much progress as I could have made. It took me a long time to get this all down. But now that I understand it all, I went through my trial and error. I'm hoping to help others, and I practice what I preach. So, hope you gain some insight out of this. If you're listening to the content, please subscribe. I make mental health, physical health, type of videos like that, a lot of working out stuff, goal-oriented stuff. So if you're interested, please subscribe. I also do coaching. I've been working out 5 to 6 years. If you're interested in getting a personal training from me, there's a link in the description. I also do self-improvement coaching if you're interested in that as well. Click the same link. But if you're watching this, I would assume you're more along the lines of maybe needing a workout trainer. So if you're interested, click that. We'll have a little sales call. Besides that, whatever your goals are, go out and make this shit happen, and I'll see you in the next one.